tell you a little story. When I count to three, and I said, go! 1, 2, 3. Think back to when you was young, running, playing, having fun. Your mama said, get in the house, it's time to settle down. She would say, it's story time. It's time to go back and unwind. So lay your head on my shoulder, sunshine. Slowly lay your head. Story time. She would say, it's story time. Time to go back and unwind. Lay your head on my shoulder, sunshine. It's story time. Well, say, it's story time. Time to go back and unwind. Lay your head on my shoulder, sunshine. It's story time. It's story time. Story time. Story time. Story time. Story time. Story time. It's story time. Story time. Story time. Now say it's story time. Time to go back and unwind. Lay your head on my shoulder, sunshine. It's story time. Well, say it's story time. Time to go back and unwind. Lay your head on my shoulder, sunshine. It's story time. It's story time. Story time. Story time. Story time. Story time. Story time. It's story time. Story time. Story time. Now say it's story time. Well, say it's story time.
And happy Easter to everyone, and good. Well, it's not morning anymore; it's afternoon. Time is just flying by when you're trying to get things squared away, get things started for today. It's good to have everyone that's watching this channel right now. I know Greg's is first; he's always first. So if Greg's not first, I wonder what's wrong, right? So hey, Greg, it's good to see you. We do have a good program coming up. It's going to be it's just having a little discussion of whatever suits our fancy. We'll probably talk a little bit about the upcoming premiere that's going to happen shortly after this show's over. Scheduled to be at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. The release of Will and the Wrestling Match. So yes, you probably the link is in the pin on top of in the YouTube. So just click on that link and go right to it right after the show and check it out immediately afterwards. All right, let's get this thing started. I'm going to play the intro and then pull in the panel.
Gather around, come take a seat. There's a tale that's so sweet. Magic words and dreams take flight. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Doc will entertain you with stories old and stories new. Adventures waiting, just unwind. It's story time.
And it's story time. It's great to have everybody coming here. Mr. Robert did jump in, but didn't jump out. So hopefully he'll be back shortly. And here he is now. No, this is David. Hey, David, what's going on, buddy? Hey, David, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Hi, there. Who are you?
Yeah, there we go. There you go. but we have an echo.
Were you expecting somebody else besides me? I thought it was all about me.
Well, no, I can't. I have to have the chief roaster officer in here.
Well, that's
David,
yes.
we do have an echo on your end.
How? Hang on a second. I think I know what's wrong. Hold on.
And Robert, how's it going?
Okay, how about now?
Oh, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Thomas, you hear me? And
He has gone dark. That's not good.
yeah, he's sometimes he has some technical issues. Sometimes so let me do this. Let me send him.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Yeah, let me send him the link. Hey, Chief Kickabitch is here too. It's nice to see him.
I have to say this. Chief Kickabitch of this Navajo tribe is now with us.
Yes. So let me do this. I'm going to shoot Mr. Thomas another email with the link that's not generated for emails. I think that's kind of what the problem is with him.
Ah, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah. So I'll shoot him that email now and go back here. And I think he just popped back in as well. And we'll see. Yep, he's back here. And he's gone again. So I sent him that other link so he'll pop in. So it's good to see Chief Kickabitch in the house as well. So yeah, I just thought today is Easter. I didn't. I really didn't. I mean, we know what's going on in news right now. I don't really want to go into news because it's getting to be too much in my mind.
Did something happen? I haven't been paying attention the last day or two. What happened?
It's just the same articles from this whole week, and if you don't know what's going on with those, maybe that's a good thing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's going in and out. Hey, Robert, if you can hear us, I did send you another link in your email if you want to try that one instead of the one that I initially sent.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, there you are. All right, we can hear him now.
Yeah. So I didn't want to cover anything in the news. Quite frankly, I didn't. I just wanted, just have a good, fun discussion. Maybe talk about throwing fried chicken at people, wrestling. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I do have another premiere, another video dropping shortly after we are done here, and the link is pinned in the chat for people to click on to go check it out after the show. And it is about as the previous episode, it was about Will getting married and he was nervous. And what did he do? He goes drinks the invisible juice given to him by Dread. Well, this is about Will on his honeymoon in Orlando, and he runs into Dread, who also happens to be a wrestling promoter. So we'll probably see. I think we probably will see a Will wrestling match in this upcoming story. I think.
That could be interesting.
Yes, it could be interesting.
Wrestling, I think, would be part of it.
Actually, it might be more classified as wrestling.
Wrestling? Okay.
Wrestling, yes.
Well, yeah, it depends on what part of the country you're from.
Yeah, true. But we'll just say wrestling.
Yeah, if you're here in the South, it begins with an R.
Yep.
Yeah,
but technically speaking, wrestling sounds like yeah.
There was sad news from England too. Leicester City got relegated today.
Who?
So, Leicester City. If you're into soccer, it's a big deal. They got relegated from the Premier League today. They lost to Liverpool, but never mind.
Okay, so and if I understand how at least soccer in England works, is you got several different leagues and you have to maintain a certain.
Well, the bottom three teams in the Premier League get sent down to what's called the Championship, and the top three teams in the Championship go up to the Premier League, and then the bottom three in the Championship go down to League One, and so on and so forth.
So basically, they have to perform to stay in their current level. And
I think it would have been football a lot more interesting if we had that system, but
Well, football, I think American football, just for our European audience. American football is so expensive. I don't think you could actually be able to do something like that.
Well, most American sports are based on the franchise system rather than on the club system.
Right.
The franchise system, you're in a league, you stay in a league forever, and you don't get removed from it. In the club system, that's England's got, I think, 14 levels, something like that.
Right.
And you start, that's how a lot of the big clubs got started back in the late 1800s. Were a bunch of guys that wanted to play soccer on Saturday, and that's where Sheffield Wednesday gets its name. They met on Wednesday and played soccer. And now these are big time. It's in some ways it's bigger than American football if you look at the total numbers.
Oh yeah. Oh, you definitely soccer. Yeah.
You can be. I mean, if you're in the bottom three teams at the end of the year, you go down to the next league, and then the Premier League. If you're in the top four, I think it is in the Premier League, you get to play in the European, UEFA Champions League is what I'm trying to spit out here, which is all of Europe. The best teams from all of Europe play each other.
Right. Okay.
Anyway.
So okay, and that's kind of cool in that sense because it's you got to perform to be able to stay in the league that you're currently in, and then you really want to advance. And if you're on a bottom tier league, you can advance yourself by just performing each year. And be
familiar with that. There's a program on one of the, I forget which pay channel it's called, Wrexham. There's a whole thing about the Wrexham soccer team. Ryan Reynolds, the comedian, owns a big part of it, and they have advanced. I think it's 3 years. They've gone up 3 levels in 3 years because they've won each league that they've been in. And now they're in I think League One or maybe League Two. I can't remember. But they went all the way up from the lower club system, and now they're in one of the highest leagues. Let me look and see. I can't remember where Wrexham's at. I think they're in League Two now. But that's a major. I mean, that's an accomplishment. That's really something. To advance 3 times in 3 years is just unheard of.
Yeah, because it seems to me that in order to advance like that,
look at that! They're third in League One. They could conceivably be promoted again. They're 5 points behind Wycombe with about 10 games to play, so they could conceivably get automatic promotion if they're third. The third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place teams have a playoff to see who the last team is that gets promoted. But right now they're in third place, so they could conceivably get promoted to the championship next year. That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be very cool. I find that to be interesting because thinking how it would work here in the United States if we did something similar to baseball clubs.
Yeah, and that's the sad part because like say you're someone give me a really bad baseball team that's always bad. Trying to think of one. Anyway, so let's say you're a terrible baseball team, and yeah, you may lose a lot, you may be last place, but you're still going to be in the league and still going to make money from it.
Right.
It takes a whole element of the motivation out. You're right. It's the European leagues are much more competitive in a lot of their stuff, and most of their leagues have that. The rugby leagues have it. Their soccer leagues have it. The only ones I think Australia's system is more like ours. I'm not real familiar with theirs, but I know Australian rules football is kind of like ours, in that they don't have I don't think they have. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they have relegation in the
right. Okay, well, I can tell you this. I remember watching an interview about the Dallas Cowboys football team, and they were talking about when Jimmy Johnson came in to start head coaching the Cowboys. And the one thing that they were saying is shortly before Jerry Jones bought the team and Jimmy Johnson came in, a lot of players didn't really care if they won or lost because, hey, they were getting the income. They were still getting the check.
We're still getting the check. And so
so they did not have that competition. And the newer guys were getting a little upset because, hey, they wanted to win. They wanted to go places.
Right.
And
by the way, I just looked it up. The Australian Football League does not have relegation. They're a single tier system. They don't have divisions or anything. They're just one table. You win, you lose, you lose.
Right. Okay. So, and I mean, I hate to say this, Tom Landry, who in my opinion was a great football coach, probably stayed in a little bit too long for his own good.
Yeah, but the way I still have trouble with Jerry Jones over the way he handled that. Because you don't just walk in and say, hey, thanks for your 20-something years of service, get out. Which is basically what he did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hate to give the Dallas Cowboys any credit, but you know what? I have to when Jimmy Johnson went in, I have to give him credit the way how he cleaned house and got rid of most of the players that didn't want to be there, didn't want to play. And he wasn't him. They got rid of. They got rid of most of the draft pick just to get Herschel Walker.
Oh no, that was Jerry Jones didn't want to do that, but they also that first year they also drafted Troy Aikman from UCLA.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Troy Aikman was a legend during that time period.
He was basically trying to replace Roger Staubach in that era. No, Staubach had been out a while, but
No, you wouldn't. That's one guy you couldn't replace.
No.
But it's there's Staubach and Danny White and Craig Morton and that bunch were all legends.
So yeah, and we were just like I said, we're just having I just remember that era of football and how during the 80s, yes, the Cowboys did very well most seasons. Now they didn't go to Super Bowl.
They won 3 out of 4.
They did pretty good. They did really well in the 70s, but when it came to like the late 80s,
95.
Yeah, late 80s. That's when they started falling.
80s, that's when they started falling. I think one season in the late 80s, they only won one game.
Yeah, that was Johnson's first year.
Well,
89 they were terrible.
Yeah, I remember Jimmy Johnson when he came in. Their first season was horrible. The second season was better, and then the third season. I think that was the first season that Jimmy Johnson was able to get him to the Super Bowl. His third season. I might be wrong on that.
Well, I think they went to the Super Bowl. I think their first time going back to the Super Bowl in the early 90s, between the late 80s and early 90s, I think was 92 against the Buffalo Bills.
They
and then they went back to back.
Now they went to the Super Bowl quite a few times in the 70s.
Well, remember they won 3 out of 4 in the mid 90s. So they too.
You're right.
And I remember when they played the Steelers, what was it, 2 years in a row and won one, and I can't remember if they won how many of those they won. But I remember that was the mix for a couple 3 years was the Cowboys and the Steelers every year in the Super Bowl.
It's just the Buffalo Bills, they went to the Super Bowl 4 years back to back and lost all 4 times back to back.
The Bills
one by botched field goal by Scott Norwood, which they still, get haunted till to this day when you hear right.
Well,
yeah.
I know the frustration losing because of the kickoff or botched field goal kick or.
Well, they beat the Dolphins in '72, and then I'm just going to go down the list here and they beat.
They didn't beat the Dolphins in 72.
They did. 24-3. They kicked their butts.
Dolphins went undefeated in 72.
No, Dolphins
for the 71 season.
Oh, the 71, 72
right. Remember,
season.
the Super Bowl's always played in the next year because
That's right. That's right.
71 season, the Cowboys beat the Miami Dolphins badly, 24-3, and then let's see, and then they lost to the '76 Super Bowl to the Steelers, and then they won the '78 Super Bowl against the Broncos. I remember that one. And then they didn't go and then they lost the '79 Super Bowl against the Steelers. Everyone remembers that one. That was the big famous one. And then they didn't go for quite a while until when did they go next? I'm trying to remember. It was late '80s, early '90s. Let's see. They went. Yeah, all right. They won the '93 Super Bowl against the Bills. They won the '94 Super Bowl against the Bills. They lost to the 49ers in '95 in the NFC Championship, and then they won the Super Bowl again in '96 against the Steelers.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Speaking about the '71 Miami team, do we think we'll ever see another undefeated team again? We came close one year. We came very close one year.
But we almost did.
The Patriots technically were an undefeated team in the regular season. So
they were yes, they were. I'm talking about when every game, including the Super Bowl.
No,
you don't think? You don't?
No, that's going to be hard.
It's not impossible, but I would agree. It would be. If we see it, it would be miraculous. It would be a miracle. That being said, I will say
but on
that
that 72
Patriots
Dolphins,
team that lost the Super Bowl has to be the worst one-loss team in the history.
Mm-hmm.
but on that 72 Dolphins team, you have to realize the rules was totally different back then than it
Well,
was now.
Yes, the rules.
totally
They
different game back then.
Yeah, oh yeah.
yeah, totally different game back then.
Well, one of the things that you gotta have to remember is that when back then, when you went to a team, you pretty much stay there until you retired. You didn't really get guys going from one team to another like we do now.
Yeah.
That's a big change.
Remember the
The-
72, with the 72, with the 72 Dolphins, there was only one game that was even close. You know, they won by 1 point against the Bills, but everything else was a blowout.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's
See, but the thing is though, Bob Greasy for the 72 Dolphins gets a lot of credit for that team, but he was injured most of the season. So they had to break their backup quarterback Earl Morrall to come in, and they basically they basically don't give him the credit, but he played almost the entire season. Bob Greasy was out
it's
injured.
kind of like when the first season that Patriots won the Super Bowl with Brady. The Brady was the backup quarterback that took over. Gosh, what was the quarterback's name that got injured that season? Dave, do you remember?
Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe.
Bledsoe. Okay, so when Bledsoe
Mhm.
got injured, Brady took over, and Brady took over the rest of the season. They weren't expecting Brady to do what he did, but Brady did it. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. For the longest time, I have not been a Brady fan. I always thought that NFL kind of had these rules set up for Brady because, well, Brady was becoming the golden boy in the league. And I think we're starting to see that.
So was
We're start,
Peyton
yeah,
Manning.
and I'm starting to see, and I think we're starting to see that now with Patrick Mahomes. So they're
Yeah.
and hey, that's fine and dandy, but until his first season at Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that was when I finally I said, okay, I will call him a goat because he sure as heck took a team his first season to the Super Bowl and won.
Because when he was out there as a free agent, Brady basically just said, "Hey, who want to go to the Super Bowl? If you draft me, you're going to the Super Bowl." That's basically what he said. And that's what happened too. Tampa Bay went to the Super Bowl. He played for what 3 seasons in two. He played for 3 seasons in Tampa and went 2 times out of 3.
Something like that, yes.
Something like that. I
Yes.
think it's right. Yes.
So that's kind of why okay, I may not have been a fan of his while he was playing, but I will call him a goat because he definitely has earned that title. And the only reason I think, and now is just looking at it retrospectively, why I don't think of him as wasn't a fan of him is I really don't like Bill Belichick. Something about him.
Oh, they call him Darth Vader.
Well, I mean, it's just that Super Bowl loss to New York Giants, the one that everyone thought that Patriots won, including the Patriots, thinking that they won the game before they actually played it. Just how he went off the field before the game was officially over, and it's like, dude, you look like a sore loser, and it's just
but let's look at the New York Giants team. Eli Manning in that team, along with Tom Coughlin. It's like they don't get They talk about Tom Brady and the Patriots, but that same team beat them twice in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, the Patriots beat.
And I'm like, at least Eli Manning could say something that some quarterbacks have never done. We beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Keep in mind, the last game in the regular season for the Patriots and Giants was between the Patriots and Giants, and Patriots won.
Yeah, the Patriots won that.
Yes.
I remember that.
And I'm sitting there thinking myself, yeah, Patriots are going to win this game, but I'm not rooting for them because it's just the way they're acting right now. This is like, pre-games interviews. Oh, when we win Super Bowl, when we win this Super Bowl, when we win this Super Bowl. They already felt they won the Super Bowl that season. And I hate it for them because they had some great players on their team, but I just could not root for a team that's already that
Well,
arrogant.
In all honesty, I have trouble rooting for the entire professional football system. I mean, it's a bunch of millionaires playing a game for a bunch of multimillionaires. Who cares? I mean, at least in college, you're playing for your
basically.
school, at least to a point. It's kind of getting corrupted too. But I just,
Hmm.
I mean, it's like it's our version of the gladiators. They just don't kill each other
Bas-
usually.
Basically, look what the Jets did to Aaron Rodgers. They flew Aaron Rod, they had Aaron Rodgers to meet with them this, last week, and he would complaining because he had to fly himself all the way from California to New Jersey just to meet with the ownership and the coaches. And the coach asked him, "Did you want to play football this season?" He told them, "Yeah." But he said, "Unfortunately, we going another direction. Have a nice day." So something they could have they had a 20-minute conversation with him.
Hmm.
It's something they could have did over the
Mm-hmm.
phone or even through an email. They could have done that, but they had this man fly away from California. I said, I'm like, well, why is you complaining about paying for a flight? I'm like, you got more money than God, and you complained about you had to pay for a flight. I'm like, pretty sure you flew business class
Well,
or
I hope none of those guys want
first
any sympathy from
class.
me about that sort of thing because they're not going to get it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. To
it don't bother
to
me
me,
either.
it's the respect of the thing. Don't call someone in that that has to fly in just to tell them that oh, by the way, we're not going to let you play this season. Give them a phone
I
call,
mean,
or call their agent and say we're not we're going in a different route. You're open for a free agent. Good luck.
so so what they wanted Aaron Rodgers to do, and he didn't want to do it. So that's the reason why they got rid of him. They wanted him to stop going on these sports, no, on these podcasts. And when he go on these podcasts, he starts spreading misinformation. He starts spreading misinformation and untruths about anything. Like
Who
for
is he in this
example,
context?
when
Aaron
he was
Rodgers?
talking, yeah, Aaron Rodgers. He was spreading misinformation. Like for instance, about the COVID. He lied about taking the COVID vaccine, which in the NFL they say you had three choices. You could either take it, don't take it, or you could sit out for the rest of the season. He lied about taking the vaccine, then come to find out he was tested and he had COVID. So a lot of his team when he was playing in Green Bay caught COVID from him. And they had to, be monitored, and a lot of them had to sit out for a few days or a week or two, or more than a week or two because of him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty scary.
He spread he spread a lot of misinformation about that, and that's they was telling him that's one thing we need for you to stop doing is going out and spreading misinformation. And he didn't want to do that, so that's one reason the Jets got rid of him
Hmm.
now.
Well, you've got to be able, especially if you're a quarterback, you have to be able to lead in the clubhouse. And if they don't trust you, you're not going to be able to lead.
Yeah, that's true. The quarterback is a leadership position in the football, at least on the offensive side of the ball. Defensive side, it'd
Right.
probably usually be a linebacker
No, it's usually
or even a
center back
safety.
or the center safety or something. Yeah, it's one of those guys.
Yeah, but quarterback,
Yeah, a middle
yeah,
linebacker.
yeah, middle linebacker. But yeah, the quarterback position has always been the leadership role uh, in the in the field and in the locker room, and in it.
Yeah, but what if the quarterback isn't good?
Then you're in trouble, and you have a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah. I mean,
right now that are in trouble.
here's the thing to keep in mind. You ever heard a team that actually won the Super Bowl, but that was because the other 10 players on the offensive side of the ball was great, but the quarterback suck?
Nope.
It's not going to happen. It's the quarterback has got to be good. He's got to be trusted. He's got to be. Uh,
Well, maybe in the old days, in the 50s and 60s, when a lot of the games were just the quarterback handing off to the halfback or the fullback or somebody, back before the wide open passing days. But yeah, you're right. Now,
yeah, no, yeah. You have to trust that quarterback. Yeah, the coach has to trust that quarterback. If he has to call an audible, then he's going to call a good audible. he's not going to just call an audible because he didn't like the play choice that the coaching staff.
Back back in the like 60s and 70s when the modern game started developing, the quarterbacks called the plays a lot of the time.
Yeah. So because of
this stuff about calling the play off the sideline didn't really come in until the mid 80s, early.
Remember the Super Bowl that was held in New Jersey between the Seahawks and the Broncos, and Peyton Manning didn't score any points until the fourth quarter, and I think it was only 7 points. That Seahawks defense only held them to 7 points. They all had the Broncos winning that game. The defense, basically shut them down.
I thought the national semifinal game between Michigan and TCU a couple of years ago was great because Michigan was just flat out cheating, trying to steal signals. TCU knew about it, didn't say anything, and scrambled their signals. It was great. Michigan didn't know which end was up.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about signals and that kind of thing. I think for me, I would have 3 or 4 players that would rotate in and out. They're the ones who's bringing it in place.
Well, they used to do that too.
I think that, and why is that? Why do I say that? And Fraudulent Comedy Show. Hey! I've actually asked you the question, but I think you went off air before you got to the question. Would you like to come up? Would you like to come up and aggravate the 3 of us?
Oh Lord, Fraudulent Comedy Show. I didn't even know she was live until she was going off. Till she was ending her live stream.
I was listening to her coming back from church. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I was enjoying it, and that whole Lane Myers guy. Oh my gosh, Lane Myers is one of those guys that if I was to see him, I think I would probably actually punch him.
Yeah, he's going to have enough problems as it is. That guy, what a waste of oxygen.
Well, you know what, Fraudulent Comedy Show. If you want to talk about hockey, I'll send you a link and you can join us.
What about hockey?
Yeah, we'll be glad to talk about hockey. I don't know much about hockey, but I'd be glad to talk about hockey.
I still take off over the whole home jersey, away jersey change. They should still have the home jerseys in the white colors, but that's me.
The only thing I know about hockey is, a couple of players missing a few teeth after that puck hit them in the face.
No, that's pretty much all of them.
Hockey is an awesome game. It's just that I'm in the South. We don't watch it that often down here.
We did. When I was growing up, Fort Worth and Dallas had 2 of the best minor league teams in the old Central Hockey League. And the Dallas Blackhawks and the Fort Worth Texans hated each other. Those were some great games. Yeah, that was a level right below the NHL. And it was pretty good.
Fraudulent Comedy Show, I have sent you a link. You're more than welcome to jump in if you want to. It's okay if you scratch some bad places while you're on the air. That's probably what Robert's doing right now anyway, so But
you know what? When Fraudulent Comedy Show says she has to scratch some bad places, she basically has to take her wig off, then scratch her head, and put it back on.
Hey, Fraudulent Comedy Show, you got to come up here. You got to come up here.
All right.
The chief roasting officer started in on you.
He's always got to pick on somebody, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, Will's not here.
Where is Will?
I wouldn't be me if I didn't.
So
without Will, where is Will?
KK
happily married.
Well, yeah, KK's probably telling him you cannot go online and play with your friends.
He probably at home sitting on that egg.
And speaking of Will, Robert, I sent you the little thumbnail of the new video that's going to be premiering at 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern. Link is.
Yeah, I've seen that.
What do you think about that little thumbnail?
I like it. It's pretty. It's pretty good. I like
yeah.
It. I like.
Oh
it.
yeah.
I have to look at it because I don't. I'm not sure if you put a sippy cup in his hand, but other than that.
Well, I did put there was a steel cherry in Tiffany's hand.
Did I get this?
No, you didn't. I was saving that for a surprise for you.
Oh.
You should make Will's sippy cup almost like Linus's blanket. the reason why Linus,
Well, it's a security.
carries that blanket because it's a security blanket.
Yeah, well, I mean,
So
yeah.
and Will's sippy cup could be his, security sippy cup full of alcohol.
Uh-huh. And speaking of alcohol, are you partaking this fine afternoon? You.
Who? No.
He's not
no,
asking
no,
me.
no,
He knows I never
No.
partake. So
Yeah. Yeah. I am.
No, in actuality, I don't partake in any alcohol.
So-
I make, honestly, the last time I drunk any alcohol, I was in my early 20s. I think I had just turned 21. I haven't drunk anything
Yeah.
else because my friends took me out. My friends took me out, to celebrate my 21st birthday, and I got drunk. So I don't think no, never again.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I must be the one heathen because I am. I got a nice little sipping scotch that I am sipping as we are talking and talk about football,
Well,
about
if you're
whatever.
into that, that's great. All things in moderation. Man.
Well, yeah, and that's that.
Yeah,
I think that is
we
the secret:
we
moderation.
we we can hear it in your voice.
No,
I
and
mean,
I know that I cannot do that in
just
moderation, so I don't bother doing it at all.
And more
I mean,
more respect to you for that. You realize weakness, and instead of putting yourself in a situation where that weakness could prevail, you did not. You choose not to do that, and I respect that.
we hear it in your voice. We know that. I kind of feel that you was drinking something because your voice is kind of slurred.
But it's slowing me down. It's calming me. It's making me patient with you.
Lest he make you a patient.
But yeah, I mean, that's been a little tradition I've started recently. Is just when I go live, I have a little sifter of scotch with me for me to sip on as I am.
Was it an official Will Sippy Cup?
No, actually, it is a scotch sifter, and we do have someone in backstage. We do have someone in backstage.
I thought he was, had a water glass full of alcohol.
No, I need to get an official Will Sippy Cup.
Dun dun dun.
Hey!
Oh my God, that's Florida
It's
Comedy
Frogger
Show?
Comedy Show.
This is the city, Los Angeles, California. I carry a badge. I'm a veterinarian. I carry a badger. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Hey, nice live stream. This, by the way.
I carry a wiener.
Frogger Comedy Show. I enjoyed the live stream. I'm going to tell you something though. If I ever
Don't.
have a chance, if I ever have a chance to
No,
slap,
no,
if
no,
I ever have a
no,
chance to slap Lane Myers, I probably would take it.
Now you'd come back with a dirty hand. That guy looks filthy as fuck.
Dude's not playing with a full deck of cards. I don't care what.
He is not. No.
No, he is not.
Are we talking about Mr. Thomas or are we talking about Lane Myers?
Mr. Thomas.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Kevin.
I mean,
So this is
seriously.
Restream. I was thinking about trying this thing.
It's pretty good. It's a lot cheaper, a lot less expensive than StreamYard.
Yeah,
It does some things that StreamYard doesn't do, which is pretty cool.
yeah, and then there's some things that StreamYard does that Restream doesn't do. But me personally, it's like, you know what, guys, if y'all want to double your price, back in I think it was August of last year, I'm just not going to use you. They more than doubled their price, or around doubled their price.
Without doubling any of those. They didn't add any features either, did they?
They added some, but those features did not matter to me. They were more for that professional. I'm making buku dollar behind my streams, so I need these features.
Oh,
They also did.
I wanted to tell you something. Last summer, remember when you were doing all those live streams last summer?
Yeah.
I was part of a comedy show. My wife and I were coming back from a vacation in Carolina. North Carolina. And I was listening to you for most of that trip. It was great. It was hysterical. I just wanted to say thank you.
You're so kind. You're so kind.
So yeah, and by the way, it's good to see you back on stage. I was wondering about you. You just kind of sort of dropped off for a couple months, and
Hey, I'm trying to put the marbles back in the box. That's all I can say.
I understand because I didn't went through the same thing. I just took a couple months off and then jumped back in. So
I'm just hoping my government stops putting me in brackets of either a pedophile, a lonely loser, or someone who doesn't contribute. I mean, it got a little overwhelming.
well,
Yeah, that's the truth.
well, I'm going to just say this: there are people out there we definitely know don't contribute, and I do question their choices in matters. I think of one person in particular on that one. I'm just not going to name names for obvious reasons. But he used to own a channel called For Public Safety. I do question some things about him.
Oh, I question.
Oh, he's
everything.
fallen off the deep end. Oh my gosh, is he fallen off the deep end? Not that he wasn't there already, but
Yeah, he's kind of gone and submerged himself, and he's down in the hole now.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. And I one thing I wanted to do.
See,
And
even Doc's cat agrees.
yeah. And one thing I wanted to do was hold a Tiffany pool. Being that how quickly will Tiffany find a new boyfriend after Chris Ryder gets convicted and had to spend some time in prison?
oh no. She's gonna sit right there and wait for him.
Oh, that's a joke you said all day.
Do this in hours, minutes, or days.
Yeah. Well, I was going to give her.
She is what we call a future prison wife.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, I really, truly do believe that she's going to drop Ryder as fast as, very, very quickly. As soon as someone like Tyrants Beware shows up at her door and say, "Hey, Tiffany, I'm here now to take care of you."
Oh, give her a little credit. Are you sure you want Tyrants Beware?
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised.
But where is he at? I haven't seen anything from him or heard from him, or I haven't
Well, it's
heard
'cause he's got
anybody
nothing
cover him in a
else.
quick minute.
Yeah,
Now that
I mean, who cares?
now that what's his name's in prison, he's got nothing left.
Yeah, he had nothing else. He was a one-trick pony.
I still say that I think that I wonder if there was some collusion going on there because they sure both got a lot out of that.
Oh yeah, they
Ed?
did. They
Maybe
did
not
get.
even intentional. Maybe they didn't realize they were feeding off each other. But while they were both around, they sure both could milk that for all it was worth.
I would not. I joked about it. I've suggested that theory a couple times, but you know what? It wouldn't surprise me nowadays. It really
I
wouldn't.
think that certainly happened.
It would not surprise me that there was some sort of communications between Wrangler and for public safety about let's do this. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not saying it's true. Don't have any evidence of it being true. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised because it's just amount of crap I've seen in the past year.
And I'm not saying
If you listen to some of his new videos, he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. I'll update you all, but I don't want to talk about it. Let's just let it go. He's in jail. Let's let it go.
I'll show you the tweet later.
Yeah, and you know what? It worked. You created a conflict. You created where there's two sides. Then you had people going over one side or the other, and you had people giving money to support the leader of their side,
Which was the main point.
Yeah. I'm not going. Like I said, I'm not going to say it.
I'm sorry. Has anybody heard any updates on Wrangler?
The one thing I heard was apparently last week, Gremlin had something from him that he was going to play last week at 6 Eastern Standard Time. I don't even remember what Gremlin's channel name is. I can't find it. So, and I wouldn't be surprised because I publicly denounced Wrangler that they've got me blocked.
I mean,
Hey, I had to tell y'all this, but Will has entered the chat. I guess his wife told him to get off that.
Yeah, I
head.
guess so. Well, Will, you got the link.
Will,
Hey, MC Dilligaff, I see you're in here too.
come on up, Will. You're our next contestant.
Yeah, Will, join us. Join us. We can all team up against
Mr.
Robert, Mr. Thomas. It's probably be good to have Will and Frogger Comedy Show just pick on Robert for a little bit. What do you think?
Sounds like fun to
I
me.
mean, I haven't said anything out of line. I'm like,
And that's the problem,
I-
Mr. Thomas.
I mean,
I know everything. Keep going.
I'm trying to, stay. I'm trying to keep it,
I'm
straight.
trying to keep it straight. Well, I'm not straight here. You got that?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay, good point. But you know what though? The last time I hurt somebody's feelings, and
You said you weren't going to bring that up on air. You lied to me, Mr. Thomas. You lied.
It was bad.
Stop it, my
It's on now.
I guess we was on the Exposer live stream, and I guess I hurt Will's feelings, and he took off.
Oh, you hurt Will's feelings? That's fine. You can hurt him all the day.
I mean, it's pretty easy to get the Will. I could easily get under his skin. You ever seen that movie? What's the movie when the guy take off the people's skin after he kill them?
So that's my documentary. I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to be aired.
Science of the Lamb? Science of the Lamb.
Yeah, something like. Well, yeah, it's been a minute, but it's pretty easy to get under Will's skin.
Well,
It is, but what you have to do is go down the side and make sure you're loosing the skin well, and then you get a nice pocket to go in there, and you can just slip your whole hand in there.
And then when you get, you have to make sure you have to sew it up real well.
Will's a nice
up
guy.
the side.
Don't pick on Will so much.
Well, I never said he was bad. But
Will's not bad, but and Will is a nice guy, but he's also the youngster in the group.
I know, just like I told Doc, I could tell that he was drinking because his voice sounds slurred.
And like I said, I have to drink because I have to deal with you.
Yeah, that one.
I mean, pretty sure he gave his cat some alcohol. You see, she stopped meowing.
Okay, guys, I have a question for you. What kind of music does the Easter Bunny listen to?
Okay, what kind of music does Easter Bunny listen to?
Oh, come on, hip hop, of course.
Oh, okay. Here's one for you then. Did you know that 20 plus 20 and 11 plus 11 is the same thing?
Okay, you're going to explain that one, right?
Yeah. So what do you get when you get put 10 plus 10 together?
20.
And what do you get when you put 11 plus 11 together?
20 as well. Ha ha. Nice guy.
He
wanted me to say 22.
I got one for.
Yeah. And Frogger Comedy Show has dropped off, so hopefully she'll be back shortly.
Yeah, I think she got pushed off the ledge again.
Well, you need to quit pushing people.
I didn't push her. I think, who knows, the invisible man pushed her.
Well, you are the one that's kind of invisible.
Well, yeah, sort of. But I got one for you. Do you know if the Avon lady falls on your property and messes up everything that she has, you have to pay for it?
Oh, why is that? He asks, not one.
She fell on her She fell on your property and messed up all her inventory, so you have to pay for it.
Okay.
I mean, I guess in certain states that you could be held liable if that occurred on your property.
But my question is, why is she on your property when you didn't ask her to be there?
And that will be where you can make that argument. I did, especially if you have no solicitation signs and so forth.
Okay. Since that one didn't go, what's Irish and stays out all night?
Say that again.
What's Irish and stays out
Irish
all night?
and stays out all night?
Yeah, what's Irish and stays out all night?
I don't know.
Irish and stays out all night. A party in Irishman? I don't know. Look.
Patio furniture.
It's not really...
That was the one I was going to use tomorrow for Hayes' show, but I just had to go ahead and put that out there. I still may use it, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I know when.
What you say? I don't have to.
All right, there's three baby drops of ink sitting on a tabletop, and they're all looking very sad. And another older drop of ink looks at him and says, "Why are you so sad, kids?" And the 3 drops of baby ink say, well, they just put my mother in the pen, and we don't know how long the sentence is going to be.
Wow.
Oh, come on. It's funny. Granted, it was...
I got what it said. I got exactly something. You put my mother in the pen, and we don't know how long the sentence
Yeah, we got that, but still.
You know how hard
In
it
other
is
words,
to
you
construct a
said.
pen joke? Come on.
In other words, what he is saying is, we got it. We just don't want it.
Okay. I'll keep it.
That wasn't me. That's what Doc said.
I
Doc
didn't
said,
say anything.
We got it, but we
I
just
did
don't
not
want
say
it.
anything. Hey, you're back.
Pretty sure that's what he.
No, I'm front.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the back.
You don't like the back? Okay.
Now, my
All right,
technology
get you to
crapped
climb back
out
over
on
that
me,
ledge.
so I'm
Now,
going to
did
need
you-
you all
all
to
right.
just repeat everything you said for the last, I don't know how many minutes, word for word.
All right,
please.
I'm going to tell her my joke and see what she thinks. She has-
Okay, tell her your joke.
Oh, God,
All
it's
right, there's
terrible.
3 baby drops of ink sitting on the desktop, looking really sad, and another drop of ink walks up, or rolls up, and says, "Why are you guys looking so sad, kids?" And one of the baby drops of ink says, "They just put my mom in the fountain pen, in the pen, and we don't know how long the sentence is." I kind of blew it.
Yeah, you screwed that. Okay, I got a joke for you. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Jesus Christ walks into a hotel. He hands the innkeeper 3 nails and says, "Hey, can you put me up for the night?"
Wow.
No?
Oh,
All right,
no, too soon?
Photon,
I got
a
it.
photon walks,
Come on, it's good for Easter, right?
a photon walks into a hotel and
Oh,
wants to check
gosh.
in for the night, and the clerk looks at him and says, "Well, yes, Mr. Photon, do you have any luggage?" And the photon says, "No, I'm traveling light."
That's true. No, he is traveling light.
It's kind of like when the
But we need to go back to this last joke that she just said. I need to ask the minister, how do he feel about that?
It's all in
David?
good fun, I'm assuming.
yeah.
When the lightning strike hits her, she's far enough away from me where it won't happen.
I mean, and at the end of the day, Fracture Comedy Show, she's just teasing with us. She's picking with us.
Well, we know it's not like she never been hit by lightning
Oh,
before.
we know she's been hit by lightning. I'm sure there's probably.
Well, we know I've been hit in the head. I'm a hockey goalie. Come on.
I'm the first to admit that religious people need to get a little more sense of humor. But as long as it's not mean spirited, it's okay, I guess.
And that's just it. I do not think of Fracture Comedy Show in a mean spirited person unless your name is Chris Ryder or Lane
Can you
Meyer.
imagine going into church? Can you imagine going into church and telling that joke today on Easter Sunday?
That's what got me kicked out of church. Just so we're clear.
And
So I
somehow
have
that does
done it.
not surprise
They
me.
kicked you out of church for that? That's a little little harsh.
Yeah.
That would probably nowadays be like, Miss Comedy Show, why don't you and I sit down in the office and let's have a conversation.
All right, a minister, a priest, and a rabbi walk into a bar. Bartender looks at it and says, "What is this, a joke?"
So there's so a man walks in with a dog. The bartender says, "You can't bring the dog in here." "No, but my dog can talk. I can prove it." "Okay, prove it." So he looks at the dog. "Fido, what's on top of the roof?" "What's on top of the house?" "Rough." "Who's the greatest baseball player?" "Rough." "How does sandpaper feel?" "Rough." The bartender kicks out the man and the dog. They walk down the street. The dog looks up and says, "DiMaggio?"
Wait.
What?
You can't
hold on.
ever criticize one of my jokes ever again, ever.
Okay, hold on. I went to the hospital once, right? I was really sick. And the doctor brings me back and he says, "Okay, we're going to do something for you. Just hold still." And he brings in a lab. And I'm like, okay, whatever. The dog sniffs me and then walks away. He goes, "Hold on, I got one more." And he brings in a cat. Cat does the same thing. Walks around me and then fucking leaves. And I'm like, "What the hell, Doc? I thought you were going to evaluate me." He goes, "Dude, I just gave you a lab report and a CAT scan. What more do you want?"
Oh my goodness.
Nah, that was good.
Did you hear about the
Lab
slaughter
reports,
who
the
was
cats
slaughtered in a
came.
ranch?
Okay,
A bull looked at
No.
him and started charging at him. You know how he stopped him from charging?
how's that?
Took away his credit card.
Oh.
I'm sorry, did what?
Took away his credit card.
Oh,
Oh, okay. He stopped a bull from charging by taking away his.
okay.
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 What the
I got that one.
spignoli con fucking thing's going on here?
Oh, you still having some more technical issues?
Turn it. Oh, there it goes. Jesus criminy. Okay, I hate Restream.
Did you hear about the guy who was talking to Chile de Castro and finally complained that he hadn't really spoken to Chile de Castro for 4 years? He thought it would be rude to get him to stop talking.
Oh yeah. Chili did good look on that. That's not going to happen.
That's right. He's be the main one. Say he wanted to use his Fifth Amendment, but he never shuts up.
Yeah, I'm going to use my Fifth Amendment. Well, then, dude, please shut the F up. We don't want to listen to it.
What's the difference? Okay, guys, what's the difference between bird flu and swine flu?
Okay.
One is poetry.
No,
one is
one
pork.
requires treatment and the other requires an ointment.
Treatment.
But I'm bum.
Yeah, treatment. Okay. I'll give you that one. That one's okay.
Sweetmeat and ointment. Okay.
It's ointment, not ointment.
Right, an ointment.
Oink.
But hey, Fraudulent Comedy Show's here. Now we're going to talk about hockey.
Ooh, hockey.
Which I'm going to tell you, I know a little bit about hockey. I don't keep up with hockey. I think it's a kind of fun sport, but I'm from the South.
I played hockey when I was a kid. I played goalie.
Ha! There you go. I'm a
I
goalie.
do know. I grew up in the hood, so the closest we came to hockey is sliding our church shoes across the floor.
It counts.
Boom.
Well, I mean, just kind of the concepts of hockey might come very, very close to soccer. I'm sorry. I mean, the rule, how you score, you kick the ball into a goal, or you hit the puck.
What you say?
Or you hit a puck.
What did you say? What did you say you wanted to do the Fraudulent Comedy Show? You want the soccer?
How dare you give me socks? I hate socks.
No, he said he want the soccer. You know, soccer.
He is making a European football joke.
You see, David is, he's buzzed. So right now he just saying things.
Okay. All right, Robert.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert. I see how you are. I see how you are.
You heard about what happened the first time Rob played hockey and why he did so badly? He got cold feet.
Oh, my feet freeze.
You know what? This probably.
Well, he played it. He missed it. He played in his socks.
No, don't play in your
No,
socks. Don't play socks.
I told you I was in my church shoes. That's the closest I ever got to it.
So, I mean, just who do you think's going to take the Stanley Cup this season? This coming season?
I think I'm agreeing with all the analysts. I think Vegas is going to take it.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
If not, I think Florida's going to do a repeat.
Let's stop for a second.
Well, Vegas for being such a young team is doing pretty darn good.
Because the owner was able to spend the money and get the good players.
That's true.
So basically,
he drafted well.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying, two teams that does not know what the hell ice is, has a strong chance of winning the Stanley Cup, which is the championship for ice hockey.
Yes, but
that's your point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Honestly, I live here in Florida. I didn't even know Florida had a hockey team until like 10 years ago.
Florida has two hockey teams.
One in Tampa Bay.
And one
Wait a minute, who? You know what? I take that back. I knew about the Tampa Bay Lightning. But I didn't know about the
Florida
other team.
Panthers.
Yes.
Yeah. Was it Florida Panthers or Cougars?
Panthers.
Okay.
And I've been watching them since they became a team in '96.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Fun fact.
And where do they play out of? Is it Miami?
Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my hometown. And I should
You
know
should
that.
know that.
And the worst team right now is the San Jose Sharks. They're just terrible.
Well, that's.
Oh yeah, they were bad.
Yeah.
You
But
know what,
they don't have any ice there.
What did the San Jose Sharks and the Titanic have in common?
They
Well,
both
the
went
night-
down with the sheep.
No, they both looked great until they hit the ice.
No, they look great.
Until they hit.
Until they hit the
I'm
ice.
still trying to figure out why is they called the Florida Panthers? Ain't no Panthers in Miami.
There are in Florida.
Well, yeah, there's Panthers in Florida.
Well, that's the same cat. The Florida Panthers, the same cat as a mountain lion when you go to Colorado.
Florida mountain
I'm like,
lion
it's the
doesn't
same
make
cat.
sense. Somehow a Florida mountain lion just
It's
doesn't
basically
get
a
it. I
cuckoo.
don't know.
Well, I mean, there's probably a reason why they didn't want to go with Florida Cougars. So let me ask co-pilot: are there Panthers in Florida?
Yes. They're endangered.
Yeah, right in Okeechobee.
Yes,
Probably.
Florida is home of the Florida panther, a rare and endangered subspecies of the North American cougar. Oh, so it is a cougar. These
You hear that Florida comedy show? He's a cougar.
So these elusive big cats primarily roam South Florida, including the areas like Big Cypress National Preserve, Everglades National Parks, and Florida Panther National Wildlife Refuge. Ooh, there's only 200 left in the wild.
Yep.
Yeah, they're extinct, but you still help. They're extinct, but you still have people down here that want to shoot at them.
Well, there's only 200 left in the wild. That means there's probably some that's in making conservation efforts crucial. They prefer dense forest swamps and pinelands, where they hunt deer, wild hogs, and smaller mammals. Okay, very, very interesting. So, being that part of Florida, so yes, there would be panthers in the in the Miami area.
But I know Florida has a whole bunch of bobcats, though.
Florida has a whole lot of gators and rattlesnakes and water moccasins.
Yeah, but they also have a football team or something they call the Gators. That would have been stupid to call the Florida Gators.
Florida,
Well, this college, University of Florida's Gators.
Florida Gators.
Yeah, you don't want two teams named the Gators. That'd just be stupid.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though. I'm just pointing
just
things
saying.
out. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just pointing things out. That's all. I
New
mean, you
York
do have
did-
crocodiles in
Back
Florida.
in the 50s and 60s, New York did that. You always had to designate the football giants or the baseball giants.
Oh, jeez.
At least till they moved to San Francisco, then it was not a big deal.
Yeah. So these are just interesting little tidbits, factoids. I mean, why did Florida Panthers hockey team call themselves the Panthers? Well, because there is a critter called a Florida Panther.
Okay, we can move on.
Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah.
To what? I'm afraid to ask.
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, we were getting ready to go down the path of Lane Myers, though.
Do we have to? I'm going to feel
Oh my
Okay.
God. Can you imagine listening to that small clip I posted for 8 hours?
no.
Oh my gosh, who would do that? That got to be as insane as he is.
Oh, they are.
Is he the guy that fired his attorney after the attorney did like all of the work? Now he want to represent himself.
I honestly
I'm not
couldn't tell
sure.
you. I haven't been following him that much.
I don't know neither. All I know is he's currently in jail waiting for trial because he apparently harassed a lady who's married to a prosecutor that was prosecuting his case.
He was harassing the wife of the prosecutor who's prosecuting.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is just.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, so, you're looking at his behavior, you're looking at everything, and I'm like, why have we not done a psych eval yet? Apparently, one person tried to tried to get him to the courts to agree to do a psych eval, and they refused. I'm like, excuse me, are they watching the same videos?
He may be harassing, but he knows what's going on. I mean, they'd ask him the questions on like how do courts work, what's the next step. He knows all those questions. He's just a rude pain in the ass.
Well, yeah, but yeah, here's the thing though. That part of the video where he's wearing that helmet while he's talking to those dispatchers, it just makes me go, why is he wearing a helmet? He's not on a bicycle. Is he getting
to prevent further brain damage?
Well, if he wants to prevent brain damage, he needs to lay off the drugs.
Oh, he's like who is that? Christopher Ruff. He'll do the drugs right on screen.
Oh, yeah.
There's no question about that. He's on drugs. There's no question. He does it.
Right. Yeah.
You mean DirecTV's not your favorite person?
Oh, he is.
We're buddies. Human being.
Oh, that guy's vile.
Christopher Ruff is the most vile human being.
Well, I don't know. That's a competition for the title of most vile human being. I can think of several.
There's a lot of competition for that right now.
But you're right. He's up there. He's definitely in the top 10.
I mean, you can argue that Chile is, but I think Chile has calmed down a hair.
No, you gotta watch him. He's still nutty as a fruitcake. That one video I was watching, that was like 2 hours long of him just babbling, just going on and on and on about his trifle.
There's always Christopher Cordova, who is just a.
Well, didn't he kind of drop off though after he was convicted?
Prison does that.
Yeah, he's just he does some stuff, but not as often. And I think it's kind of one of those like, yeah, you get arrested harassing somebody, you're going to go back to jail. So behave. At least for another year or two, I think.
Well, that guy amazes me. He gets thrown in jail for 15 days. He gets convicted. He's on probation. And he goes out and starts shining lights at cops again because he can. Is there something wrong with that, or is it just me?
Well, okay, so I'm going to just say this. I don't mind police officers being recorded. In fact, I think there's a way you can do it where it's not endangering a police officer, it's not endangering you, and it's not endangering the suspect that the police is dealing with. But let
me ask you, hold on. Let me just ask, because this would piss me off. If I was on a traffic stop, like I'm pulled over, and one of those nutters came up, I'd be pissed. I don't need my traffic stop on your channel. I just don't.
Yeah, I would.
You want to film the police, whatever, but just leave people's traffic stops alone, especially the ones that say, "No, please, I don't want to be on your video."
Especially when they start giving you advice. I mean, that just they start giving you advice about what to do. Who cares? Why?
All right,
Can you imagine going to a judge saying, "A guy on the side of the road told me this"? I mean, can you imagine?
Well, and
we're pulling out that trifold.
Okay, I'm like.
Well, I do agree with what you're saying there about you don't want your image on their channel. You don't want them recording your police stop. It's kind of a double-edged sword. It's one thing recording the stop, and if they were going to put that on YouTube, blur your image and blur your vehicle's image. It's another thing. They don't do that. A lot of these guys don't. They just whatever I got, boom, there it is. It's going on the screen, including you telling them, "Don't film me, stop filming me." So it's kind of, but it's a double-edged sword. Yes, I do agree with. If someone says, "I don't want to be on your channel," you do not put them on your channel. But at the same time, you cannot stop them from recording because they can record. They just cannot upload to YouTube without getting a privacy strike.
Well, I like you guys see that one that the young kid up in Wichita Falls, and the cop eventually arrested. This kid's like 15 or 16. He was doing a post office. The cop finally arrested him. But what he arrested him for, that I think was extremely instructive for the future. He arrested him for conspiracy to commit identity theft. They need to start doing that every single time because that's exactly what they're doing. They're recording the personal information. How is that not attempted identity theft?
Definitely
really make that stick. I mean, that would a lot of this would get nipped in the bud right away.
Well, that
And if they
But the
started
thing-
charging them for inciting harassment.
Yeah, that too.
And the thing is, though, I'm like, you really gonna take an advice from a goofball? If you, let's just say if you got pulled over and they said we want to do a test on you to make sure that you're not drunk, they're gonna say, well, you don't have to do that because they're just trying to build a case against you. I'm like, do you know if you not take the sobriety test, they already have probable cause to take you to jail and suspend your license for a year? So you gonna listen to the guy with the camera that don't know what he's talking about?
You're right, exactly. And
Well, he did go
you're
to the
taking
YouTube.
basically you're taking a legal advice from someone who's not qualified to.
Oh,
give
come
that
on,
legal
guys. They
advice.
did go to the YouTube School of Law and Chicken Preparation. So come on.
So yeah, I agree with you on that one, Mr. Thomas. That yeah, I would not. Some random guy on the street corner telling you, "Hey, let's do this, do that." No. Now,
And then there's some of you seen the recent video they were just put out there for I forgot the guy name, saying that the police was retaliated against him because he was reporting the police when actually the man had a warrant for his arrest for harassing and stalking.
Yep.
So how's that retaliation when they literally had a warrant? They was arrested.
It cracks me when these people say, "I'm going to sue you for enforcing the law." How dare you?
Yeah.
My favorite is when they start yelling about you didn't have no rights to run my tags. I'm sorry. Are you running? You're on the road. They do it.
The sob sits do that.
Your tags have no right to drive.
Yeah, Sovereigns does that all the time.
They're going to do it every time. If they see your car on the road and they just, hey, there's nothing going on right at that moment. That's one of the ways that they can show that they're doing something. They're running your tag.
Oh, one thing that
Have you
drives me
seen those
absolutely
automatic
nuts.
tag runners? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, those are nice because they just do them. One
Yeah,
thing
it's all
nuts
like
is this argument that somehow their camera is an extension of their body. That has absolutely no legal basis in anything except stupidity. It's just not true. And I wish someone would call them.
No, when they get back to the sovereign citizen, when you pulling them over, they love to say, "Do you know when you put on your lights and siren, that's basically against the law?" I'm like, well, how else they gonna get you to pull over?
Yes, I know. And I know firsthand personally that the law is, say when I was in my ambulance and I'm just out cruising, waiting for a call. And I decided to turn my lights on just so I could go through a stoplight. That's what the law is.
That's illegal.
That's the illegal part. Not that I was using it to pull you over, not that I was using it because I decided to. I have an incident where I need it kills me every time I hear that. It kills me.
Yep. It's ridiculous, beyond ridiculous. It's just stupid. I mean, these guys actually think
No,
you're going to believe this?
And then you got the Moors out there. The Moors, they love to get in court. They love to get in court. It's about all this gibberish. And, I'm like, you just digging yourself a bigger hole that you can't get out of.
I find it very interesting that they actually think they have some form of diplomatic immunity, and they're the ones who declare it. Hey, yeah, you can't arrest me because I am an ambassador for the Moorish nation. So
And then it gets me when they say, well, they like to say, well, I'm not a United States citizen. I'm like, do you think it's smart in this time, especially in this administration, to say that?
Yeah, I mean,
oh, you're not? Okay. Okay. We got a special bus for you.
I'm like, they're gonna ship you to El Salvador.
No.
Keep it up. Keep telling
they're
them
claiming Moorish nationals. So we're going to take them to Morocco. That's where they belong.
Right. I'm like, you keep saying you're not a U.S. citizen. I'm like, they're gonna get you out of here.
When they get you
I'm
to
like, do you think
Morocco,
that's
you're
smart?
in
You
for
keep
a
doing
very
that.
rude awakening.
Oh yeah, they don't like them over there.
Oh, yeah. They'll be like, no, you guys keep them over here.
Well,
you
the
keep
thing
them
about
over
it
here in
is
the United States.
the treaty of friendship, peace and friendship between the United States and Morocco does exist. It was one of the very first foreign treaties the United States ever signed. But
Yeah, I think they were the first ones to acknowledge the U.S.
Yeah, exactly. It has nothing. It was an anti-slavery thing. Yeah, they were both combating the Barbary Coast pirates. I mean, not slaves, pirates. They were both to combat the Barbary Coast pirates. That's all it was about. And these guys have just taken it. And the
And then
Moorish, you want to know who really doesn't like them is the Moorish Science Temple people. They have taken their religion and just eviscerated it.
And then what gets me with the soft is, they don't. Well, I turned in my ID, I turned in my driver's license, but you have the ID card to go to the weed store to buy the weed, get all the go to the weed store and buy all this,
And they have their ID card where they can get the
whatever what they
welfare check.
selling now. Yes,
Not only that, have you
just like I told, hey,
ever looked up one of the
Just like
websites? The prices they charge are out freaking outrageous.
Yeah, it's it's
I never
Monthly.
looked. Oh, monthly charge. Well, I guess it
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense.
membership fees. Yeah, that's what
Shoot.
they are, right? Membership fees or
Shoot.
dues or something like that.
Maybe I need to start looking into that.
You got to become a Moor.
Well, I might run their website.
Come on, if any of this was true, every person in the world would either be a Moor or a soft Sid if this worked. I mean, seriously, people.
Yeah,
Well,
We're the
that's-
ones who haven't woken up yet.
Well, what also cracks me up are when they ask for a supervisor. Has any supervisor in the history of the planet Earth come out to one of those calls and said, "Oh, my officers are totally wrong. I'm going to fire them immediately. Here's your license, sir. Please sue us so that we can give you a lot of money in recompense." No, never happened. Never
No,
going
see,
to.
but the thing is, though, they think at the Moors, they actually think that the sheriff has more power
Yes.
over the city. For them, like,
And which is the
The-
argument for that
because
one
they
is
say,
so
well, the sheriff
convoluted,
is-
it's hard to follow. It's just
Well-
ridiculous.
Well, I will say there is a little bit of basis on that theory because many states' constitutions do acknowledge the sheriff, but never acknowledges the police department.
holy shit.
Yeah. So there is a little reasoning behind
Well,
it.
not really, because all the city police departments and whatnot that's encompassed within the executive, whatever the executive article is of the state constitutions.
Yeah, but wasn't the original just sheriffs? There was like no police. It was just sheriffs.
Yeah. In a lot of these counties, there weren't really any real big town cities that could support a police department. So it was the county sheriff that had to maintain order. I mean, I guess the best way to think about it is like Mayberry.
Yeah.
They must, they must think that, like you just said, Mayberry. They must think they're living in the old west, waiting for the local sheriff to come out there. But you do have the U.S. Marshals that's the head
Of course,
of
you remember with Mayberry, you can always start yelling, "Citizens arrest! Citizens arrest! Citizens arrest!"
Well, Mayberry's a great little town. Otis would just let himself in the jail and sleep it off for the night.
I could live there because everybody in that town know everybody's business.
Yeah, that's the sound. That's the downside to it.
And that's any southern town. That's every southern town under 1,000. Trust me.
Yeah.
I would do things just a little to piss them off so they could see what's going on.
Well, they did it. They did
I would.
have an episode where a stranger came into town. He knew everybody's business. He knew everything that was going on. It was freaking people out. Of course, Sheriff Andy, he had to go investigate it. Found out the guy served in the military with someone from Mayberry, and he started reading the Mayberry's paper, and he continued to subscribe to the Mayberry paper after him and his friend no longer in service together. So he started learning all this stuff about people in town because he read the paper. He knew things about people that kind of scared the crap out of him because it's like they did not know who he is. And here he is. He knew the town like they were his longtime neighbors.
That would literally scare, make anybody nervous today. I'm like, why do you know about me?
Seriously. How do you know so much about me? Well, because Ryder, you put everything about yourself on live stream. On live stream, so yeah, we know a lot about you than we probably really want to know.
We've never seen any of the receipts for it, but
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. Yeah, and he's the one that probably would actually say they know a lot about me. Yeah, dude, because you probably said about it 100 times about
Yeah,
yourself.
don't put my information out there. That's my job.
Uh huh. Quit talking about my kid.
I'm like,
Quit talking about Tiffany's kids. Then you need to stop talking about them.
yes, quit putting all your personal business
And
on
that,
YouTube.
that because does scare me a little bit because the way he talks about those kids, there's something. I shudder to think what's going on behind the scenes with that.
Well, I want to say thank goodness that he's not allowed to really see the kids. I think the family kind of sort of made that very clear very early on that no, you cannot. He's not allowed to see the kids because I do know one thing. I believe if he was allowed to be alone with either one of those kids, that the father of that child would probably wind up going to prison.
Well, with his history of beating women,
Exactly. That's what I was kind of hitting at.
I just,
Or worse.
that would make me very, very nervous. It should make Child Protective Services nervous too.
I think they are. I think they are. Because I mean, let's look at it on a very very logical sense. As a rule, uh, when there's a separation between a man and a woman, between two parents, normally the child goes with the mother. Is that correct? Would everyone agree with me on that statement?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
For the it's changed. The things are
It's
changing,
changed a
but
little bit.
yes.
that's changed.
It's changed,
It done changed a
But
little.
there is a
now-
bias towards the mother, yes.
yeah. Now, the mother does not have a custody of her children. One of the fathers is a convicted felon who has custody of his child, and the mother's not allowed to see her children unless it's underneath supervised visitation. What does that say to you about the?
When they do that, though, they're not so concerned about the parent. I don't know what the case it is in this case, but they're concerned about the people the parent hangs out with that might be exposed to that child. That's why they do supervised. Oftentimes, that's why they do supervised.
Well,
I mean, it
well-
could be because of the parent too. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, well, I would think in her situation it was definitely because of something with her. That said volumes to me when I heard that.
yeah,
very, yeah.
that speaks a lot.
Yeah. So now a father that doesn't have custody of his kids, or that happens. That happens a lot more, but when it comes to the mother not having the custody, that doesn't happen often. It happens more now than it did 20 years ago.
It have to be something really bad or anything, something in there for the judge to rule that for the mother to not to have her kids, that the father to have them. And who knows, maybe the father could do a better job in providing for and taking care of her than the mother can. So the judge can rule in their favor, rule in that way.
And that happens more now than it used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's give a lot of people don't have joint custody. Is a very good example. Someone we all know, Hez. Hez and his ex seem to have a very good relationship with the kids, and both of them see him in their joint custody. It seems like it works really well.
Right. Yeah. And I would yes. And it's a crying shame when families split, but hopefully the parents of the children can make it work where both can be with the children because that's important.
There is
Now sometimes neither one. Sometimes neither one of them have custody of their children. They may the judge may rule to say let the grandparents have custody of them if they file for custody.
And Friday will come to show you you're getting ready to make a point.
I was just gonna say there is no one or nothing on this planet that I would take over my child.
Mm-hmm.
If enough people are going, you know what, this guy's a fucker. You need to let him go, otherwise you're not going to get your kids. He'd be out the door. Out the door.
Right.
Anyone.
Oh, yes. I think that's hitting the nail on the head right there. That's it.
And that's what makes And that's what made me mad with some of these people. How you gonna, when they tell you to make a choice, how you gonna choose somebody else over your children?
Right. Yeah. Those. Yeah, the children they are biologically your children. There should be an emotional bond there, and if the mother or the father cannot see that, then they're not a good parent. So,
Right.
so, anyways, that being said, let's get back on to something a little bit more fun and comical than bad parenting.
Are you still drinking
No,
whiskey?
I'm done with my scotch. And I don't drink whiskey. I drink scotch.
Okay, that's either or. But
There's a difference.
I mean, last month you said you had a water glass.
Oh God, I'm ready.
Water glass. A water glass full of scotch.
Well, no, I did say I had a glass of.
Yeah, we heard you. We heard you. You're busted.
I had my little.
See there?
Yeah, I had my little shots of scotch with a couple of ice cubes, and just sipping.
No, you weren't sipping. You was gulping. See, you at least you have a glass. Florida Comedy Show has the entire bottle.
Yeah, I could see her drinking guzzling.
Oh, why waste with a glass? Come on.
I mean, she literally drinks alcohol straight from out the bottle.
That's what they did when I was a kid. They just put the nipple right on the bottle and let me go. I'm Scottish. That's what happens.
Oh my god! So you? So
wait a minute. You say you Scottish?
Maybe.
Oh, come on.
Hey,
no
Florida
proof of
Comedy
that.
Show. Florida Comedy Show. I do have Scottish heritage too.
It's not,
Scottish
I mean,
and
it's not
German.
the-
You take that back.
I do have Scottish and Scottish and German heritage with me.
Oh, great. I got German
Scottish-
too. God damn it.
Uh-oh.
If
the
you tell me
Scottish-
you've got English, I'm
the
out of
Scottish
here.
is okay, but they can't drink like the
Hey,
Irish.
my people, hey guys, my people conquered all your people. I'm Swedish, so what can I tell you? My
Filthy
parents,
Swede.
my lineage is all Vikings, so there you go.
The Vikings.
Yeah, not the ones in
You
Minnesota.
dirty little Viking.
Yeah, we're all dirty little Vikings.
So that means, they came like from
No,
Norway.
actually, they
or-
came from Minnesota.
Sweden,
I-
not Norway.
Yeah, Minnesota.
I thought it was Morocco.
Well, that's the northern Morocco. That's the northern half of Morocco. Some sovereign citizens moved up there in like 1110 and took over.
But yeah, but other than that, out of all of us that's on this panel, I think Florida Comedy Show can outdrink us.
Oh, I would not be surprised.
I'm not going to take that one.
And still
Dude, I buy my liquor in a gallon container.
see that. Well, and then again, when we was having that, when she was live for those many hours, anytime somebody donated, she took a shot.
Did it hurt?
So
Bam. Bam. Bam.
It hurt.
did it hurt? Well, that depends on what type of shot she was talking about.
Oh, you cannot see my depends from here.
No, it can actually if they're showing. Come on, girl, you gotta clean that up.
Who wears short shorts?
I wear short shorts.
Oh my god, a flashback from commercial. Okay. Let's go back to the
where's the
sausage
meat?
for a second.
Where's the meat?
Okay, yeah. Let's go back to
Just for a second,
sausage.
because
Where's the
this
beef?
always bugged me too. How many of
where
them?
the beef
I'm
was?
going to answer that. All of them. Piss and moan how much the government will charge for fines, right? But then when you get their fee schedule,
Oh, I know.
it's like minimum $1 million for anything.
I'm charging you $1,000 a second to speak to me.
Yes.
I wonder if
they'll
they
go,
actually
"Oh my
ever
God."
collected anything.
A $100 ticket? How dare you?
Oh, some of those guys have sent bills
Oh yeah.
to whoever.
I remember one judge told them to file it with the
Yeah,
court. I was like, you know the court, what the court
They're
gonna do
put
with
it up
that?
in the wall in their office and laugh every day.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you though.
And the
And
thing is,
some of them, when they say
and the
they're
thing is,
going to
I don't
sue,
get
they
the.
don't mean in our courts. They mean in the ridiculous postal courts. Or
yeah,
whatever
the postal courts.
I don't get when they get to court. They with the same line. I am the representative of such and
Of the
such,
old
and the judge
Caps
said, "Okay,
name.
are you an attorney?"
Then
Yes.
why are you showing up in court at all?
I'm-
If they don't have jurisdiction, why did you bother to get out of bed and come down here and talk to us?
I like when the judges do that. I promise you, I would not show up if you didn't have jurisdiction. I would not. I promise you, I would not show up.
Yeah, there's one lady judge who really let somebody have it with that one. I thought it was hysterical.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was great.
well, I think the judges are starting to get tired of it.
Starting?
Well, they've been tired of it, but they're now knowing. They now know what they probably heard it 20 times already in their judicial career, unless they're a very, very brand new judge.
Well, there are two of them up in Michigan, Simpson and Middleton. Man, they just don't mess around with those guys, especially Simpson.
And then when they arguments start to fail, they soft script seeing that it's not working. The last resort that they go to is I don't understand.
I don't understand. I
I
stand
don't
under. I
understand
don't
my
stand
child.
under.
don't
I
stand
stand
under
over.
that. Yeah. That's not what it means for openers. And B, shut up.
I'm going to tell you something that really kind of gets to me, and I wish a police officer would do this. It's when they ask for an identity for one of the fraudsters, and the fraudster just wants to identify themselves as a good citizen. I wish a police officer says, "Sir, I can't call you that because I don't want to be a liar."
Yeah.
I wish they would do it. I wish they would. I know that would get a complaint, but
So what? Well, they have to. Most of those complaints have to get rolled up and thrown in the trash can. I mean, they
It's
don't
like-
take those seriously, do they?
it's kind of like, so you said call him a good citizen, and he says he couldn't call you that because he didn't want to be a liar. Hang on one second. Oh wait, you're serious? Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that complaint being laughed at.
There's one of them recently that
No,
I forget who he's trolling. I think it's Papa maybe, or he just eviscerates. He just makes so much fun of him. It is just hysterical. I mean, the guy just at one point. Oh, yeah, it is Papa because he says, "Sir, could you take your thumbs out of your vest for citizen safety?" And he looks at him and says, "No, I can put my hands wherever I want to."
Yeah, he did say that. I love that. I love how that
No matter
officer
what
just
he
kinda
says, he just. And what gets me is these guys, this whole public servant thing. They are public employees. They're not your personal slave. They're not
Yes.
your servants. They're not. They are there to exercise the law as passed by the legislature and enforced by the elected officials of the executive branch. The only right that being a taxpayer gives them is to pay taxes. That's it. You don't have any right of ingress or egress, or you don't have any right of control over anybody or anything. Someone needs to tell them.
Hey,
Sorry.
Fraud Commissioner, let me ask you a question. When you did your live the other day, and you was talking about so what's the fraud Liberty
Oh
Troll,
yes.
No.
and he gave the lady his email address, and you said you got all the information
Well,
from that.
no. What I got, his email address at the end, it's like Liberty Troll LLC. So of course I went to look and see if he even had an LLC.
Oh, I seriously doubt that.
He does.
He does?
And
Really?
his entire information is on there. I mean, everything.
That's just stupid. I'm sorry, but
I couldn't.
So he doxed his. So he doxed his
Well, it's not
own.
documented
Yes!
at that point. That's public information.
Yeah, it's public information. And he's just basically revealed that it's available, and basically pointing to the direction where you can go look and see it.
That's like that ridiculous
'cause I heard you-
fundraiser that,
'cause I heard-
the Angry Vet started.
Because I heard you say you found out, his apartment,
Yep.
his address, his apartment
Mhm.
number. You know,
Oh,
I'm like, you found out all that just from that?
And here's something else. You can, with other services, you can find out a whole lot more because you have his address, you have his all that information.
well,
You know,
yeah.
a limited liability corporation you have to publish all that stuff because that's part of the law. And after
I-
that information is public.
Yeah, I found out his divorce, I think a child custody. There was some traffic stuff. I mean, it was just so stupid. And then he shows up in my live today in the chat saying, "Oh, do you want to have a talk now?" I'm like, "Dude, yeah, set it up. I'll talk to you anytime. Come on."
And then
And,
what
and
was
look
it
at that,
just
should
no
done?
invite him.
email.
You should invite him live.
Oh yeah, of course. There's no email because you never hear these guys respond back. And
I many moons ago when Chili DeCastro I was just finding out about Chili DeCastro. I actually messaged him on Facebook and asked him, "Hey, what qualifications do you have to be practicing law? I'm just curious if you have which state you're licensed in." And I got the strangest message back from him. He said, I am an internationally known constitutional law scholar that has," and I forget what, it was just this babbling. Hang on, let me see if I still got that on my Facebook account.
that'd be interesting because I mean, based on that, I'm also an internationally known story writer and teller. I mean, there are like 2 or 3 people from other countries that actually listen and watch and read
I think
stuff
I
out.
deleted
So
it.
that would make me international.
Did anybody see the email that I did with Liberty Troll on that live?
No, I didn't.
I don't think I did.
Oh yeah.
See,
Is
he
it
was talking
underneath your
about-
community post?
No, I think it's in the live itself. But I mean, the short and gist of it, I was like, "Dude, would you like to come on the live? Because you had some inaccuracies in your video. I want to give you a chance." And oh, come on.
I do remember that now. Yes, because the live earlier
my
today,
God,
I
I'm
was
killing-
actually cooking.
Yeah, and he goes, so answer this. How often do you beat your wife? And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was the
I
question.
don't beat my wife. My wife is a brown belt in judo. She can beat me up, but I can't beat her up.
Oh, I cower anytime my wife holds up her hands or something. I'll be like, don't hit me. It's like, you're a hockey player. What about...
I must have deleted it. I can't find it, but it was just absolutely hysterical. I mean, it just was this babbling. It was, "I am a genius. I am this and I am blah blah. I am an internationally known constitutional law scholar that does this." And I was like, "Oh wow!" But he never answered the question about where he was licensed to practice law for one obvious reason.
He's not licensed. He has no qualifications to do so. I don't even know if he's got a bachelor's degree or not.
Street. That guy is frightening.
See, but the thing with Liberty Troll is, I believe what he was asking for, he wanted everybody's name that was in the building, but he had just recorded everybody's name that was on the wall.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
He wanted their name, their salary. I'm like, well, you just recorded their name.
And that information is not going to be released anyway. Personnel information is not subject to FOIA requests.
Oh, no. It's there. That was the kicker, too. You can get it all online.
Okay. Well, I guess some states you can. I mean, they don't post the name though. They post the position, right?
No, the names are there too.
Do they put the name? Oh, wow. Okay, I learned something. I didn't know that. Okay.
And so far, when I did research, the only state that had recently taken it off was Nevada. You can't get any information, no salaries, no names, no positions, nothing.
Way to go, Chili. Nice job.
Yeah.
That's exactly what did that. Quite frankly, I mean, me personally, I just don't think that's a good thing to post salaries where anyone can FOIA it and get it, because I mean, obviously, what we're seeing now is these guys are using that as a weapon to intimidate, and there
was a while back. I really had a moral quandary a while back, because there was this hearing at one point where Josh Abrams and somebody that was with Josh, who didn't like Josh but was on his side on this one, was Chili DeCastro was trying to get a protection order against Josh and this other lady.
Uh-huh.
You know you've got a moral problem. You start pulling for Josh Abrams. I mean, but I was watching this hearing, and Josh was actually fairly intelligent and reasonable in this hearing. And Tilly Castro just went off on the judge, said, "Oh, this is rigged. You can't do that. You don't know anything." Blah blah blah. And I thought the judge was going to reach through the Zoom and strangle him right there. I've never seen anything like it.
Was that the one where Shiz was getting one too, or something?
No, this is
Shiz-
quite a while ago. This was a couple.
Yeah.
Of years ago. Well, okay, well
Yeah,
maybe
it
it
was
was. Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I think it was.
There was somebody else. I don't
Yeah,
remember
it was-
who, but yeah.
It was a
I know Chili.
mass.
Yes, the mass hole report.
That was it. Yeah, that's the one.
Is that Kate?
Kate,
Because I know
right,
he had
that's
a. I know he had a running
I
with
can't
Kate.
remember her name. But Josh and Kate were actually on the same side, which was mind-bogglingly. That was,
Oh, it was
enough. But
Yeah.
when I found myself rooting for Josh Abrams, I knew I was in trouble.
So you were rooting for Spanky.
Yeah, basically. And Josh Abrams is a vile, disgusting worm.
He is.
And
Oh
that
my
one,
gosh.
he was right. I mean, he was right on that one. I hate to say it. But
I'm going to say this though. Am I one of the few people that actually wanted him to win that election? That he.
Yeah, I wanted him to win so he could actually feel out. And I was at. I hope they audit him. Let him feel the fraud.
Yeah,
Are you
because
kidding?
I hope
we would be doing the frauding. We would be. Doing,
I
we
would
be
live
doing-
there.
he got
We
like
would be
450 votes.
voting him constantly.
I would set up camp with a camera on him 24/7.
Oh, I'd go walking into his office first day and start videoing his desk drawers.
Yep.
And then the thing was when he was running for office, he was using, I guess, his house as his headquarters, as his, as his headquarters. And I'm like, well, that became public property.
Yep.
That became public property once you was running for office. I'm like, okay, then I want to see the records and everything that the money and everything that you spend. I'm like, that's not hard to ask for. I mean, it wouldn't be hard for you to get, but do you think that he would probably
And
give it to
campaign
you?
finance laws require you to release a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, like I said, I kind of wish he won. I'm glad he didn't because
I am glad he didn't. That would have been horrible.
It'd be horrible for that small
but
town,
then again,
Nothing else because you have to address him as your honor. Yeah.
No, but then again, he did say he won. It was,
it was a conspiracy.
It was we could stop him with the votes, but he said that he did win. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Hey, David. Actually, I don't think you have to address him as your honor because you had freedom of speech.
That's a good point too. All right.
Yeah, you could say no. I cannot address you as your honor because you'd have no honor.
Well, how would we address him? In Canada, you have to address him as your worship.
Spanky.
Okay, you're Spanky. Okay.
Yeah, Spanky. That's how I would address him.
In Canada, it's your worship, and here in the States, it's your honor. So I like your Spanky. That's good. If he ever wins, we're going to address him as your Spanky.
Yeah, that's how I would address Josh Abrams. Spanky.
His honorable Spankiness, Josh Abrams.
Yeah, because I mean, every time I look at him, I said, "Damn, he looks like Spanky from Little Rascals."
Well, don't do that to Spanky. Spanky wasn't that heavy.
Oh, well, Spanky was still a kid.
Spanky was. Oh, you're right. Yes, he does look like him a little.
Yeah.
But I feel for Spanky. I mean, come on, cut Spanky a break.
Well, I mean, Spanky's passed away, but I'm sorry. I look at Josh Abrams. I see Spanky every single time. He just needs to add a little hat. So that's just me though.
Yeah, I know we know that. So that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Frogger Comedy Show, what do you think about that? Oh, she got quiet on us.
She obviously has no thoughts on that matter.
Yeah, she got quiet.
Uh-oh.
Maybe Doc's cat. Maybe Doc's cat got her tongue.
My cat's actually behaving. She's behaving right this second, but I had to take the keyboard off the desk. She was sitting here and start typing bad emails to people.
I mean, I don't know what it is. Every time Doc goes live, it's almost like his cat want to come in and interrupt the show.
My cat, this particular cat, loves to get on the desk in front of me while I'm live. She does not do it any other time. If I got a meeting, she does it.
She knows she has an audience.
Yeah, she's auditing my show. She's auditing the show. You gotta quit auditing the show.
But You better hope she doesn't show up with a camera in
So
her
she's
paw.
gonna get a channel called News Now Kitty Cat.
Yeah, News Now Kitty Cat. Actually, that reminds me of something. I I wish I had got this ready. I saw a little video that's just a little older, but it was from Saturday Night Live. Basically, it was action cats. So
Oh yeah, I remember those
yeah,
skits.
yeah, it
I
was
remember
like
the
a
action cat
toys
skit.
that you put on the cats to make them like. So it's kind of it was funny. I need to probably play that on the next live stream. Just kind of show it a little bit. But it was hilarious. But it's probably copyrighted, so I better be careful on that one.
What you should do is you should get like you ever seen like the little toys that had like the catnip on the inside of it?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's all I need. That's
I
all I
mean
need. Let me see if I got a little thing.
I
Speaking of
mean
catnip,
I mean catnip is just like marijuana to the cats. I mean they would go crazy
yeah.
over it.
I wonder if Roger Comedy Show uses catnip.
There's not really an equivalent dog nip, is there?
There you go. It's right there. It's on the floor.
Well yeah, a
Well,
doggy
doggy
bone.
bone, I guess. Yeah, true. Just good old fashioned milk bones.
Yeah, the milk bone.
All right, so I gave her a little bit of a catnip treat to maybe calm her down a little bit. It's right there. There it is, Diesel. There it is. All right. Well,
I mean
Roger
because
Comedy Show.
they I mean because that cat right there probably gonna make she make it known. She wants your attention.
Yeah, well, she definitely likes the attention. That's for sure.
Did we lose Frog our comedy show?
I think so. She was quiet for so long, so I don't know
So
if there was a problem on her end or what.
She's fun though. She's
Yeah,
great.
she was. She was fun. Hopefully, she'll pop back in before we do go off the air. Speaking of which, what time is it,
I know.
anyways? So in 14 minutes.
214, you're 314. Wow.
Yeah, 3:14.
I mean, I know, she probably had to go refill her flash, just like we know Doc have to go refill his water
Uh-huh.
glass.
Yeah, probably. But hey, so in 14 minutes, and this is pinned on top of the chat. I do have a brand new video. It is a Will and the wrestling match.
Oh dear.
Yes, found a little, and guess what?
Oh dear.
Oh, my fictional evil twin is actually telling this story.
Oh dear.
And
It's like News
So
Now
does he
done
have a
this.
British
yes, he
accent?
does have a British accent. I'm glad you asked, Mr. Robert.
I would
Is
love
this
to hear
anything
a
like
Southern
News Now
British
Dumbass?
accent.
So he does have a British accent, and you guys hang out after we go off the air, and I'll put it up on the live stream for us to watch together.
This guy doesn't throw chicken at anybody, does he?
No, no chicken throwing. I'm sorry. That might have been actually a good little scene with Will throwing his chicken at Big Brian. Big Brian was the
But you have to realize, after Will eats chicken, he like to smell his fingers, so it's gonna be kind of hard to get rid of the
I could have
chicken.
gone all day without that image.
I could.
I mean, he
Hey,
does.
not one day. He likes to lick his fingers too.
So see that's what he does when he go to KFC. He lick his fingers
All right, now
and other people's
don't be
fingers.
dissing KFC.
Well, he does that.
I'm not.
He's licking KK's fingers.
I'm not dissing KFC. I'm just saying when Will go to KFC, he lick his fingers and other people's fingers. It's called finger
Yeah,
licking good.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes over to the next table and says, "Excuse me, sir, can I
I
lick
saw
your
something
fingers?"
on YouTube the other day I thought was really interesting. Are y'all familiar with the old TV show What's My Line?
Oh yeah.
It was one of the episodes right after the Kennedy assassination. They had recorded it before the assassination, and they had Colonel Sanders on there. And nobody. This is back when KFC was just getting off the ground nationally, and they didn't know who he was or what he did, and they did not. I don't think they got it. I thought that was fascinating. I mean, everybody now knows who Colonel Sanders is just by looking at him, but the panel did not get him because they didn't realize who he was. I thought that was
I
really
know,
interesting.
That is.
I know you all remember. I know y'all remember the old game show. I've got a
Oh
secret,
yeah,
right?
Gary Moore. He's great.
Okay, I seen I seen this on YouTube, and the guy that had a secret was the guy that the guy was old. The guy they kept on asking him questions, and the question was one of the questions was what year you was born, and he told him 1830
Oh, is this the
something,
guy that witnessed
and he
the
said
Lincoln assassination? Yeah,
yeah, he witnessed Lincoln's assassination.
yeah. He was born in 1858. He was 6 or 7 when he watched it. Yeah, I remember watching that one. That was a good. I watch a lot
Oh
of those
my,
old shows. There's a lot. That was back when TV was TV, and not.
yeah, I know when he witnessed Lincoln assassination. Doc was at Lincoln's assassination,
Hey,
right?
now, I'm not
He
that old
was.
now. I'm not that old, guys.
Doc Doc was at Lincoln's assassination. He was actually one of the actors at Ford Theater when Lincoln was assassinated.
Hmm.
So if you look up in history, you may see Doc on stage.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Hey, now, Robert, I told you don't reveal my secret about being immortal, like the Highlander.
Let's say, are you like Duncan MacLeod or somebody?
I guess so.
No, I'm just saying. I can't remember what play it was, but the play that was running at Ford Theater was Romeo and Juliet,
No, it
and Doc
wasn't.
was
No,
playing
it wasn't.
Romeo.
I don't. What was? Okay,
My
that's a
American,
good question to
my
ask.
American cousin.
Yeah, my American cousin. Yeah.
Yeah, but can you imagine Doc playing Romeo? Oh, Romeo, oh, Romeo. I mean, Juliet, let down, whatever. That hair, see, I
No,
don't
that's
know.
Rapunzel.
But hey,
Oh, I see. See, wait a minute. See.
here's an easy way they could have solved that problem with Rapunzel. When she said, let down your hair, she should have just took it off and threw it at him.
Hang on one second.
Okay, nice thinking.
I'll do
You know,
a southern version of Romeo, uh, soliloquy.
A soliloquy? Let's hear it.
I'll just let's see if I. Okay.
I mean, it is a well-known. I'm like, we don't know. Doc was, like I say, Doc was there
Okay. So
doing
here's a brief excerpt.
you
With love like wings did I o'er perch these walls, or stony little
Oh my
cannot
God.
hold over out, and that's love can do that dares to love attempt. Therefore, my kinsmen are no stop to me. Okay, there you
Okay.
go.
Well,
All
okay.
right. Well, I
But I still stick to that though. I still stick to that. Doc was, he was there at the Lincoln
I don't
assassination.
think so.
no, I don't think so neither.
I mean, you never know. You go back in time, you see Doc,
You said,
excuse me, Mr. Lincoln, Mr.
huh?
Lincoln.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. That is the outro music for the show. It is time for us to start wrapping this one up because we do have that premiere coming up at in actually 7 minutes. So if you're watching it right now, you got that link on the pinned up on the chat. Go ahead and click on it. Go to that. Go to the premiere. Check it out. It is going to be. It's a good story. I did some things differently, so I hope it came out well, and I hope that you enjoy it. If you enjoy this show, please take a moment, hit that like button, pretend it's a fraud that you don't like, and give it a hard slap. Subscribe to the channel,
And that word could be a punch.
That could be a punch. Yeah, just hit it hard. Just hit that like button. That's all I'm asking. Share this channel with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and comment. That'd be all great. And if you do have story ideas that you would like to introduce to me, especially if it's Will's Sippy Cup Shenanigans, because I have fun with those. I really do. You can think of something that Will can get himself in trouble with, send it to me. We'll create a story about it, I think. Yeah. I think we can have a good time with it.
Well, I have a quick idea. You know, you could do the story of Will and the Missing Golden Age.
Well, shoot it to me an email, and I will be glad to do it. That email address is j.laneau.stories@gmail.com. And until next time, everyone, take care of yourself.